first house, or Svabhava, for Aries Rising, Part 1. The first house, or Svabhava, for Aries Rising is ruled by Mars, embodying raw drive, initiative, and goal-directed energy. This lends Aries Rising individuals a strong need to act decisively and independently. Their personality is shaped by a natural assertiveness, courage, and a pioneering instinct that thrives on challenges. The house defines how they meet life head-on, and with Aries Rising, this translates into a bold, impulsive, and competitive spirit that rarely hesitates when opportunities arise. Mars' rulership over Aries brings an all-or-nothing quality to their approach to life. Their personality is often direct, intense, and at times confrontational. They prefer immediate action over deliberation and can become impatient with slow results. Leadership traits emerge strongly in their self-expression, and they naturally gravitate toward positions where initiative and quick decision-making are needed. This Martian influence makes them fiercely protective of their independence, unwilling to be subdued or micromanaged. Their body constitution reflects vitality, muscularity, and physical alertness. The first house governs the brain, skull, forehead, and the pituitary gland, and Aries Rising often shows sharp features, a prominent head, and strong bone structure. Mars gives them a high metabolic rate and quick reflexes, but it can also create a tendency toward fevers, inflammation, and injuries, especially to the head or face. Their posture is usually upright, gait swift, and energy levels high, especially in the early stages of life when the first house is most active. Their behavior reflects the psychological traits of the frontal cortex: impulse, action orientation, and assertive decision-making. They often operate on gut instinct rather than prolonged contemplation, making them appear confident and at times brusque. Their psychological constitution leans toward doing first and thinking later. While this makes them natural starters, it can also lead to erratic focus unless balanced by planets in grounded signs or strong Saturnine influences. The Aries Rising's natural vitality is cyclically activated at ages 1, 13, 25, 37, 49, 61, and 73, aligning with physical and psychological milestones that reaffirm their need to assert independence and redefine personal goals. These years may see bursts of self-initiated change, shifts in physical health, or renewed personal directions. The first house vitality can be sustained well through physical activity, especially sports or martial arts, which channel their Martian energy constructively. Emotionally, Aries Rising tends to keep things simple and forward-moving. They rarely dwell in sentiment or rumination and prefer solutions to feelings. While this creates a strong coping mechanism in crises, it may leave them unequipped to process emotional complexity, especially when vulnerable. If planets like Moon or Venus occupy the first house, the personality softens but retains the fast-paced, decisive core. The presence of malefics like Saturn or Rahu in the first house alters the Martian quality. Saturn delays and restrains their natural energy, leading to self-doubt or identity struggles in youth. Rahu distorts the Martian instinct, exaggerating ego or causing the native to adopt unconventional self-projections. Benefics like Jupiter or Mercury in the first house make the Aries Rising more reflective, logical, or expansive in their self-presentation without entirely dampening their innate drive. The rising sign sets the tone for how one meets the world. And for Aries, it is through assertion, boldness, and pioneering will. The first house becomes a crucible where physical stamina, instinct, and self-image are forged together under Martian heat. Everything they do must carry the flavor of being initiated by self-will, whether in personal choices, career, or even relationships. They thrive when they feel in motion, driven by goals, and allowed to lead from the first house, or Svabhava, for Aries Rising, Part 2. When Mars and Saturn are conjunct in the Aries first house, the native experiences a push dynamic between aggression and restraint. Mars demands immediate action, while Saturn imposes caution, fear, and discipline. This results in a personality that learns to control impulsive tendencies over time, often after facing setbacks due to premature actions. The body constitution shows both vitality and endurance, but there may be issues with muscular stiffness, joint pain, or injuries from overexertion. The face may appear angular and stern, and the gait calculated rather than swift. A conjunction of the Moon and Ketu in the Aries first house produces a highly instinctive but emotionally aloof personality. Moon gives emotional awareness, but Ketu severs the sense of identity from personal emotions. These individuals often appear dispassionate, even though they're highly reactive internally. They may lack a stable sense of self, resulting in periodic identity withdrawals or radical reinventions. This conjunction can also affect body fluids and hormonal rhythms, leading to digestive sensitivity or psychosomatic conditions triggered by stress. Venus and Rahu conjunct in Aries Rising create a highly stylized and magnetizing personality, with exaggerated charm and a tendency to push the boundaries of appearance and seduction. Venus seeks beauty and harmony, while Rahu amplifies desire and unorthodox expression. These individuals may experiment with fashion, body modifications, or alternate gender expressions. Their approach to life is bold, indulgent, and strategic. However, they may also struggle with vanity, overindulgence, or obsession with social perception and desirability. A conjunction of Jupiter and Mars in the first house of Aries gives immense confidence and missionary zeal. This pairing creates someone who believes in their own authority, someone who acts not just for the self, but for a cause or belief system. Jupiter expands Mars' directional energy into idealistic crusades, leadership roles, or entrepreneurial ventures. The body is strong, well-proportioned, and radiates enthusiasm, but overconfidence can lead to impulsive risks or overcommitment, especially when Jupiter is retrograde or Mars is combust. Mercury and Ketu together in Aries' first house create a sharp but eccentric persona, often drawn to codes, patterns, and abstract intelligence. The speech may be quick but cryptic, or detached from conventional logic. The native is likely to question societal norms, show interest in obscure knowledge systems, and display a nervous, restless energy. Physically, there may be narrow facial features, sensitivity in the nervous system, or issues like stammering or irregular coordination if afflicted. Sun and Rahu conjunct in the first house of Aries results in a highly ambitious and image-driven personality. The Sun seeks authentic recognition, while Rahu craves notoriety, leading to a persona that cultivates power through optics, politics, social media, branding, or public confrontation. Such individuals may reinvent their identity multiple times to stay relevant or achieve dominance. The body is typically striking or highly curated, and health issues may stem from overexertion, addiction to stimulants, or adrenal fatigue. A Mars-Moon-Saturn conjunction in the first house of Aries creates a deeply conflicted temperament. Mars initiates action, Moon reacts emotionally, and Saturn restricts movement. This triad often leads to emotional suppression, intense inner pressure, and an oscillation between bursts of energy and melancholic withdrawal. The person may take on heavy responsibilities early in life and become known for stoic endurance. The physical body is dense, possibly short-tempered, with fluctuating vitality and chronic tension in the shoulders and neck. When Venus, Mercury, and Jupiter are conjunct in the Aries first house, the Martian persona becomes highly social, articulate, and wise beyond its years. This trio combines aesthetics, speech, and dharmic intelligence into a personality that is magnetic, humorous, and often deeply ethical. These individuals are multi-talented and can be polymaths, especially in creative, business, or educational fields. The body constitution leans toward well-balanced beauty, clear complexion, and charming gestures. If afflicted, this can also result in arrogance masked by sophistication or misuse of influence. First house or Svabha for Leo Rising, Part 1. The first house for Leo Rising is ruled by the Sun, making the personality radiant, confident, and inherently aware of its central role in shaping outcomes. Leo ascendants meet life with a strong sense of identity and personal presence. Their Svabha is to shine, to lead, to express, and to influence. They feel naturally positioned at the center of their world, and their approach to life reflects a blend of dignity, self-respect, and a desire to be acknowledged. With the Sun as the ruler of the first house, the self becomes infused with purpose and visibility. Leo rising individuals express themselves through creative action, moral clarity, and leadership. Their identity is tied to their ability to stand out, often compelling others to notice them even when they aren't trying. Their self-expression is deliberate, bold, and filled with theatrical timing. Whether in personal conversations or professional spaces, they tend to command attention through presence more than noise. Physically, Leo rising is often marked by a prominent forehead, strong jawline, upright posture, and confident gait. Their movements are measured, their eyes often bright or commanding, and their gestures regal. As the first house governs the brain, face, and vitality, the solar influence manifests in strong immunity, steady energy levels, and an inner warmth that radiates through the body. If afflicted, this same pride in appearance may lead to vanity, rigidity, or exhaustion from overexertion. Leo ascendants are activated in life, particularly at the ages of 1, 13, 25, 37, 49, 61, and 73. These years often bring shifts in personal visibility, self-esteem, or leadership roles. Early life often sets the stage for experiences of being seen, praised, criticized, or burdened with responsibility. With each cycle, their self-image is tested and redefined, often through the arena of public recognition or personal pride. Their growth centers around learning when to lead and when to listen. Psychologically, Leo rising is aligned with the executive functions of the frontal cortex, decision-making, leadership, moral reasoning, and identity coherence. They seek meaning and integrity in their actions and often carry an inner narrative of being destined for something greater. This solar narrative can give them confidence and strength, but also create challenges if they over-identify with ego, status, or image. Their instinct is to uphold principles and assert personal authorship over their life story. Emotionally, Leo ascendants are self-contained, but emotionally sincere. They feel deeply but rarely wear their wounds publicly. They prefer pride over pity and are more likely to show strength than vulnerability unless the moon or Venus occupies the first house. They are loyal, generous, and deeply affected by betrayal or disrespect, often remembering emotional wounds tied to loss of honor or diminished recognition. The way they act is decisive, rooted in self-trust. They do not initiate out of impulse or calculation, but from a sense of rightness or internal dignity. The first house for Leo rising acts as a stage for heroic expression, where action must carry narrative value, and life is lived as a performance with substance. They are inspired by being seen as wise, courageous, or noble. Even when alone, their conscience is the primary audience. The svabhava of Leo rising is to illuminate the path, not just for themselves, but often for others. Their presence encourages order, confidence, and inspiration. At their best, they embody generosity, courage, and creative purpose. At their worst, they may demand attention without offering substance. But life continually shapes them into leaders, not through applause, but through their ability to hold steady when others waver, to act with integrity, and to keep the light of selfhood burning even when surrounded by shadows. First house, or svabhava for Leo rising, part 2. When Sun, Saturn, and Mercury conjoin in the first house of Leo, the solar identity faces immediate tension between confidence, restraint, and analysis. The Sun asserts, Saturn restricts, and Mercury questions, producing a personality that appears composed and authoritative, but is constantly engaged in internal calculations about how it is being perceived. These natives can come across as mature, serious, and intellectually dominant, often with a signature speech pattern that mixes gravitas with precision. Physically, the posture is erect but restrained, and the eyes may reveal both intelligence and weariness from carrying early responsibility. A conjunction of Sun and Rahu in the first house of Leo amplifies the need to be seen, recognized, and distinguished. The Sun seeks authentic leadership, while Rahu injects hunger, ambition, and unconventional charisma. These individuals often possess an electric, magnetic presence and are drawn to fame, political arenas, or public roles. Their self-image can be highly curated, often built around personal branding or spectacle. However, if afflicted, this combination may distort the ego, leading to inflated self-importance, image obsession, or ethical compromise in the pursuit of visibility. Moon and Mars conjunct in Leo rising produce a volcanic emotional core expressed through passionate action. The Moon brings emotional charge, Mars adds fire. Together they create a dramatic, willful personality that thrives on reaction. These individuals are fierce protectors of pride and loved ones, and their emotional world is deeply tied to their sense of dignity. Physical features may include a strong chest, intense eyes, and a lion-like presence. Emotional impulsivity can lead to conflicts, especially if they feel emotionally slighted or unacknowledged. Venus, Ketu, and Sun together in Leo's first house drastically alter the archetypal solar self. Venus seeks beauty and connection, Sun seeks identity, and Ketu disorients attachment, creating a personality that is at once attractive, elusive, and existentially disinterested in conventional applause. These natives may reject worldly validation despite natural talent in art, fashion, or performance. They often radiate a mystical charm, veiled sadness, or quiet detachment from praise. If spiritually developed, they may become graceful renunciates. If conflicted, they may oscillate between seeking and rejecting affection. A Mercury-Mars-Rahu conjunction in the Leo Ascendant produces a sharp-tongued, quick-witted, and aggressively intellectual persona. Mercury brings verbal agility, Mars sharpens it into debate, and Rahu craves victory at any cost. These individuals dominate conversation, wield sarcasm like a weapon, and may provoke others just to assert their superiority. Their intelligence is fiery and often controversial, especially in media, satire, or politics. Physically, there may be a lean, restless body and a piercing gaze. If unafflicted, they're powerful orators. If afflicted, they risk burning bridges with reckless words. Jupiter and Ketu in Leo's first house create a philosopher-king archetype, expansive yet detached, wise but uninterested in power. Jupiter provides magnanimity, Ketu severs ego attachment, and the Sun's rulership attempts to shine through despite the disinterest in status. These individuals may be deeply spiritual, drawn to ethics, higher learning, or dharmic service, yet may struggle with worldly leadership. Their presence is calm, their eyes penetrating, and they often walk a middle path between worldly success and inner liberation. A Moon-Saturn-Rahu conjunction in Leo rising creates a personality structured by emotional intensity, social ambition, and internal struggle. The Moon brings vulnerability, Saturn imposes control, and Rahu craves impact, resulting in a persona that oscillates between craving validation and feeling unworthy of it. These natives can become master strategists, especially in emotional or political domains, but they often carry an invisible burden or inner grief. Their faces may show maturity beyond their years, and their energy is emotionally dense yet charismatic. When Sun, Venus, and Mars combine in Leo's first house, the result is an incandescent and sensual personality, full of charm, passion, and dramatic presence. The Sun gives pride, Venus offers allure, and Mars adds magnetism and courage. These natives are often artists, performers, or leaders with theatrical flair. Their body is expressive, their wardrobe bold, and their energy contagious. However, if imbalanced, this conjunction may lead to narcissism, vanity, or difficulty in sustaining relationships due to excessive self-focus or romantic idealism. When harnessed well, they become radiant forces of creative leadership. First house, or Svabhava for Sagittarius Rising. The first house for Sagittarius Rising is ruled by Jupiter, giving the native a personality infused with expansiveness, optimism, and a forward-moving quest for meaning. Sagittarius Ascendants meet life with a sense of purpose and possibility. Their Svabhava is exploratory. They are natural seekers, constantly looking beyond the present for deeper truths, broader perspectives, or new horizons. The self is defined not by stability or control, but by growth, learning, and vision. Jupiter here bestows a sense of ethical orientation, philosophical temperament, and moral confidence. Sagittarius rising individuals often present themselves as confident, enthusiastic, and candid. Their identity forms through experiences that broaden the mind, travel, education, spiritual practice, or cultural exchange. They instinctively trust life, and this faith becomes the compass through which they navigate even uncertainty. Their personality radiates a blend of humor, blunt honesty, and intellectual curiosity. Physically, Sagittarius ascendants often have a tall or well-formed body, open features, and a buoyant gait. The face may be expressive, with twinkling eyes or a high forehead that suggests vision and intellect. The first house governs vitality, posture, and brain orientation, and Jupiter lends them both robust health and an air of enthusiasm. They tend to carry energy in the hips and thighs, ninth house areas, which often affects their posture or stride. They move like travelers. Even when standing still, there's a sense they are on their way somewhere. Sagittarius rising is activated in years 1, 13, 25, 49, 61, and 73, periods that often bring new philosophical insights, changes in belief, travel, or personal reorientation. These moments tend to shift the trajectory of their life outward, toward adventure, higher learning, or realignment with a bigger mission. Their growth doesn't occur through crisis, but through experience. Moments that ask them to evolve their worldview and expand their mental or spiritual framework. Psychologically, these natives operate through ideals. They perceive the world through abstract principles, justice, faith, wisdom, and filter personal identity through alignment with these principles. While this grants nobility and purpose, it can also create rigidity or moral superiority if unchecked. They tend to act from intuition and belief more than cold analysis, and they may resist rules that feel too small or bureaucratic. Their self-concept is deeply tied to whether they feel free to pursue what they believe is right. Emotionally, Sagittarius ascendants are direct and independent. They dislike emotional heaviness or dependence and tend to keep feelings light, often using humor to diffuse discomfort. While capable of great emotional warmth, they often process through understanding rather than sentiment. If Jupiter is strong, this brings cheerful resilience. If afflicted, they may veer toward emotional avoidance or impractical idealism in relationships. They value emotional honesty, but may lack patience for emotional complexity. In action, Sagittarius Rising is instinctively expansive. They are not meticulous like Virgo or impulsive like Aries. Their actions are motivated by ideals, purpose, and vision. They act with enthusiasm, but often without full consideration of detail. This makes them inspiring and visionary, but occasionally inconsistent or overcommitted. They thrive when given autonomy, and they resist roles that confine them to rigid structures or unchanging systems. The svabhava of Sagittarius Rising is that of the teacher, philosopher, or wanderer, the one who moves through life with eyes on the horizon and a torch of truth in hand. Their journey is less about destination and more about meaning. When balanced, they inspire others, uplift through wisdom, and bring humor and faith into every interaction. When imbalanced, they may become dogmatic, restless, or disconnected from the present. Their evolution comes through transforming belief into lived truth and turning freedom into responsible, soul-aligned action. First house, or svabhava for Sagittarius Rising, Part 2. When Jupiter, Ketu, and Moon conjoin in the first house of Sagittarius, the personality becomes deeply philosophical, emotionally detached, and subtly radiant. Jupiter expands the self, the Moon brings emotional instinct, and Ketu severs personal attachment, creating someone who seems wise beyond their years, but inwardly struggles with rootedness. These individuals often feel they don't belong to any one place, culture, or identity. Their emotional life is rich but introverted, and they may develop strong spiritual leanings or live life in search of a higher home. The face is calm, eyes reflective, and the body may appear gentle yet otherworldly. A Mars-Jupiter-Venus conjunction in Sagittarius Rising produces a charismatic, passionate, and ideologically charged persona. Mars brings drive, Jupiter purpose, Venus charm, resulting in someone who moves through life with enthusiasm and warmth, but who may burn relationships in pursuit of ideals. These individuals are magnetically attractive and often romantically intense, but their true loyalty lies in their belief system. Their actions are poetic, impulsive, and loud with meaning. They inspire, debate, and pursue beauty, often in unconventional or freedom-oriented ways. The body may be athletic and expressive, with a voice that alternates between romantic and righteous. Mercury, Rahu, and Sun conjoined in Sagittarius Rising create a brilliant but restless intellectual, a personality that is hungry for recognition, mentally unyielding, and drawn to futuristic or controversial thought. Mercury gives articulation, Sun provides authority, and Rahu amplifies ego, often pushing the native into public life or performance. They may become opinion leaders, activists, or digital personalities whose identity constantly reinvents itself for new relevance. Their speech is rapid, bold, and saturated with belief. If afflicted, this trio may foster arrogance disguised as intellect or chronic dissatisfaction with conventional roles. A Saturn-Jupiter-Ketu conjunction in Sagittarius Rising results in a personality pulled between structure, wisdom, and transcendence. Jupiter expands, Saturn contracts, Ketu dissolves. So these individuals often experience a life of spiritual tension. They may take on burdens too early, become philosophical in solitude, or become indifferent to worldly accolades. Their face is stoic, their energy grounded but sparse. Often viewed as wise elders even in youth, they oscillate between deeply rooted beliefs and moments of complete detachment. They're seekers of existential truth, even while fulfilling worldly duties with methodical discipline. When Venus, Rahu, and Moon conjoin in Sagittarius's first house, the native becomes sensually vivid, emotionally performative, and complex in matters of love and belonging. Venus and Moon create emotional sensitivity and grace, while Rahu intensifies desire and disrupts predictability. These individuals crave romantic connection, but often experience dramatic highs and lows in relationships. Their beauty is unconventional, their aura magnetic, and they may be drawn to artistic or cinematic lifestyles. If imbalanced, they may idealize love or use charm manipulatively. Physically, their appearance is striking, eyes large and expressive, with a theatrical edge to their presentation. Mars, Ketu, and Sun together in the Sagittarius Ascendant create a fierce, unrelenting personality driven by conviction, yet emotionally hard to reach. Mars gives strength, Sun gives authority, and Ketu strips away neediness, resulting in someone who acts with purpose but may resist emotional bonds or worldly accolades. These individuals pursue Dharma with razor focus, often entering ascetic or self-sacrificing paths. Their presence is powerful, but their motivations may remain opaque. They often move through personal reinvention by shedding layers of ego. The body is lean, sometimes scarred or weathered, with a warrior sage demeanor. A Mercury-Saturn-Moon conjunction in Sagittarius Rising produces a highly introspective, mentally structured, and emotionally cautious self. Mercury provides logic, Saturn brings restraint, and the Moon internalizes everything. These individuals may appear quiet or slow to open up, but once engaged, reveal remarkable insight, memory, and articulation of abstract emotional states. The tone of speech is measured, the emotional palette cool and contained. They may excel in law, education, or archival professions where system and truth intersect. If afflicted, the trio may lead to depressive realism, internal self-censorship, or loneliness masked by intellectual distance. Sun, Venus, and Jupiter conjoined in the first house of Sagittarius produce a radiant, generous, and magnetic personality, someone who embodies warmth, abundance, and creative joy. Jupiter and Sun amplify authority and optimism. Venus brings charm and grace. These individuals are born teachers, artists, or cultural connectors. Their self-image is confident and benevolent, often admired for their authenticity and charisma. They attract opportunities through sheer presence and often live life with a sense of celebration. If afflicted, there may be a tendency toward indulgence, self-righteousness, or excessive idealism that masks deeper insecurities.